It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I think that there's a correlation between scientific practice and creative practice, in that they both share a common aim to reveal the nature of things. And I think, bearing that in mind, my practice has always been quite analytical and quite thought out. And the whole process of printmaking actually blends itself towards that, because printmaking throughout history has appropriated new technologies in the service of the creative idea, and through its practice also inspired new technologies. It actually brings curiosity to it, and with each piece of artwork there is a QR code which you can download on your mobile, and that directly links you into the sound or the scientist speaking.
Calculus of the nervous system. We interpret that phrase in a particular way, but for somebody to be writing it at that time is rather striking.
Even if you're not aware of all the discoveries within science, this is a starting point for you to explore what is currently happening, or indeed what has happened. This piece is depicting two black holes merging, and in 2016 they discovered for the first time ever gravitational waves. And it's quite interesting that I've used etching on copper, which is a very medieval technique, to depict a very 21st century discovery. Underneath the two black holes merging, you can see the sound wave that is generated by a gravitational wave, and it was just amazing that it turned out like repeating stars. So sometimes that's the inspiration, that you see these incredible patterns in the sound waves that actually blend themselves to making copper plates and etching and actually incorporating that into the work. My creative practice has always been involved with science to a greater or lesser degree, with exploration into DNA and identity, and also working across interdisciplinary groups such as engineers or geneticists. There's a wide, varied subject matter in terms of physics and science and natural science. This piece is called Sun Sound, and the sun obviously has been observed for centuries, and the first observation of sunspots took place in 1611, and the first sound of the sun that was recorded was in 2016. So you've got a historical layering there. The sound of the sun has been observed by the Solar System Exploration Group, which is part of ESA, which is the European Space Agency. And this, we're talking about process, is a photo intaglio of the sound wave of the sun. Well, I've always been interested in incorporating the invisible within my work. Past work has been capturing frequencies and capturing the cymatic patterns that are generated by that sound. So to actually include the sound within the artwork itself is just another layer, and it's quite interesting that you have the figurative representational, but also there is invisible layer of sound embedded in the plate, in the copper plates. It was important to me to put a female voice within the scientific community. So I've included Ada Lovelace, as well as Jocelyn Stuart Bell, who discovered radio pulsars in 1967. And also we have Marie Curie, who was the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize. In actual fact, she is the only person to have won 2 Nobel Prizes in 2 different sciences, physics and chemistry. They actually sent down a probe into the atmosphere of Titan, one of the moons of Saturn, and I've got that sound of the winds of Titan embedded into the work. So it actually goes from the people that discovered these things as well as the phenomena as well. This is one of my favourite ones actually, because it's Craig Ventor. He in 2016 announced to the world that he had created synthetic life, and his announcement is actually embedded in the copper plate.
We're here today to announce the first synthetic cell, building the chromosome from 4 bottles of chemicals.
I've actually collaged that with Darwin's selection of sexual plants. So there's a kind of playfulness about that from observation to creation. And included in Darwin's sexual collection of plants, I've included 3 synthetic cells. And it is quite incredible in terms of what the impact of that will be. So I think it's definitely important to be put in and represented within the exhibition. I think people will engage with the work on a personal level, and hopefully that will inspire them to look at science again in a different light. If you want to find out more information about the exhibition, it's listed in the Northern Ireland Science Festival brochure, as well as the ArtisAnn Gallery website.